There's a point where keeping this amount of money in your bank account stops being smart and starts costing you your own money.
You just gotta do it scared.
I want you to imagine something. You hire someone to work for you. You're paying them with your own money that you worked hard for. And now this employee just shows up every single day and just chills. Does absolutely nothing. Would you keep paying this employee? No, not for a day, at least once you found out. But your money, the money sitting in your savings account has been doing exactly that. Just sitting there. And somehow you've been made to believe that that is responsible. Come on in, take a seat, like this video, hit that subscribe button, and send this to a friend that this could change their money story. Now here's the part that would change how you see money. This is something that really nobody ever explained to us. If the only place your money lives is a savings account, you're exposing yourself to a financial risk that most people never see coming. You just don't realize it yet. You see, most of us were never taught how to make our money work for us the right way. We were taught to protect it, keep it where you can see it, or just make sure you save something. Make sure you don't lose what you have. You see, that advice, it comes from love, from people who once knew what it felt like to have absolutely nothing. Maybe you know that feeling too. I do, because there was a time not too long ago, okay, that all I had was a barely there $12 an hour job, and baby, hey, couldn't even rub two pennies together. So I understand the instinct to hold on so tight. You wouldn't want to risk going back there. But there is a missing piece to this puzzle. There's a difference between protecting your money and allowing for your money to protect you back. You see, once I understood this one shift, everything started changing. Oh, and don't get me started about thinking you're going to trade your way to wealth or hit it big with some investment or some company that's going to explode or whatever it might be. Because it was through diligently investing the right way, over even just a short few years, that I was able to take some of my investments, my profits, a little over $75,000, and leverage that into building a real estate portfolio that I live off today. A portfolio worth over $1.5 million, built in just under 2 years. So if you're taking investing seriously this year, and you really want to learn the long-term way of investing that actually shows results consistently, and it's been proven over and over decades, that we are just learning what the rich, what the wealthy have been doing, and we are just applying it. I have a live investing masterclass, Thursdays, 8 p.m. EST. I go live, come hang out, come with your question, but all you gotta do is just sign up. I'll put the link in the description, yeah? Right now, while your money is just sitting in the bank, inflation is moving. I keep telling y'all the cost of goods going up is not by chance. Every year, the cost of everything just keeps going up, and we're the new adults here, and we have definitely lived through just the last few years how crazy the cost of goods can be. Look at the cost of gas today. But yet, you have way more than is needed past your emergency fund, past your living expenses, sitting in a savings account. And even if you don't see it from this perspective, look at it from this perspective. The value of your dollar today is worth more than the value of your dollar tomorrow. That means that the same crate of eggs that used to cost $1 or so is going to cost you more tomorrow. So why would you put your money in an account that's not growing, even at least at the pace of inflation? Now, that is just doing the bare minimum, because honey, we need to be invested in the market so that our portfolio can grow beyond what inflation is currently at and our money is actually working for us. The dollar amount is not reducing in your account, so you might not fully conceptualize the impact of inflation on this huge savings account that you have sitting. That same amount of money that could have done real damage during pre-COVID, it's not the same amount of money today, and it's not going to be the same amount of money tomorrow. And if I'm talking about this investing thing and trying to bring it to the forefront of you realizing that this is not an options game anymore, the fact that you are not investing long-term wisely, you're basically setting yourself to be poor. And you might think, oh, I just need to make more money, I'm just gonna go get another job. If you are not stewarding the money that you currently have well right now, you're just exhausting yourself, working more to try to make more money. Learn the fundamentals on how money grows. Learn the fundamentals of investing wisely. Now, let me show you what the bank already knows. The bank, yeah? The same bank that you trust to keep your money safe. They do not believe in allowing cash to sit still, not even for a single day. I hope you knew that the moment you deposited your big deposits in there, they put that money to work. They're lending it out, investing it, building returns on your dollars, and most banks' business model is built on being able to move money the right way. Because guess what happens when you try to just hop in there on a Monday morning and says, give me my 10 bands back right now? No, they can't do it right now because they need a few days. They need to go and ask Peter and Paul and Jake and sign some things so that they can retrieve all that for you. Why? It's not that they have your money and they just don't want to give it to you. No, your money's at work. So much so that some of these banks, you have to literally fight them to get your money back because your money's at work. It's benefiting them. And how much is it benefiting you as your money that you worked so hard for, that you came to place in their institution? How much of that are you getting back in investment profits? So the bank understands that cash sitting still is a waste. So there they are, building wealth with your money. Because no banker is gonna be like, hello, why don't you take this 50K and just go put it in an ETF that tracks the S&P 500? No banker's gonna tell you that. But go look at the books. They're investing commercially. So what makes it different that you are not able to do it as an individual? And as they build off your hard-earned money, they pay you back barely anything. So my question that I want you to ruminate, to think about is, if the banks don't trust cash to sit there doing nothing, why do you? By the way, if you've been trying to figure out this investing thing, the long-term way, the boring way, the one that works consistently without headaches if the market dips or not, and understanding how the market has been working over decades before even you and I were born, I have a live investing masterclass every Thursday, 8 p.m. EST. I'll go deep into these kind of topics. Come and let me roast you about why you're not investing. Bring your questions. 8 p.m. EST. You just gotta sign up. I'll put the link in the description. But hear this. I want to tell you about someone I know. Let's call her Amara. She allowed me to share the story. She's a nurse. She works nights, doubles on weekends sometimes. And when I talk about discipline, oh, this lady is disciplined as heck. So she calls me one day and she shares with me that she has over $80,000 sitting in her savings account. Ooh. Number one, we celebrated her because wow, that takes diligence to be able to build out a savings account to that level. But then we went to work because to have that amount of money sitting in a savings account for years, that's not good. So I asked her a simple question. What are your monthly expenses? She said around, let's say $4,000. So quick math, let's just multiply that by 3 or 4. And let's say that something I call your peace money, okay, runs anywhere from $12,000 to even $24,000. But think about it. She had $80,000 just sitting in a savings account. So if we're following this math, then there's about 60 grand that needs to be deployed wisely in the market. Because right now it's sitting there doing absolutely nothing. It's been used by the banks, but how much interest are you making that is able to exceed where inflation is right now? Because I told her this, even if you're in a high yield savings account and the return looks good because you've never been in a savings account that gives you this amount of money back, and you're always thinking like, oh wow, they did so good, they gave you a few $100 back, honey. That's your money that's being deployed in the market. And they're just paying you something. But can you imagine how much of a margin of a profit they're making in order for them to even be able to pay you that percentage in interest? Because remember, their entire business model rests on the fact that they're able to move money. You work too hard for your money to be sitting like that. It's time you learn how to close this sort of wealth gap and have your own money working for you. So then I went ahead and explained to her, just like what I'm doing to you, I want you to change your mindset around this idea that my money is so safe, just stacked up in a savings account. So I came up with this thing and I said, there's a difference between peace money and stuck money. You see, peace money gives you peace of mind, right? That's your emergency fund. That's money that you need now, money that you need to live off of. Your car breaks down, you lose a client. I mean, money that needs in the immediate few months. Yeah, this money needs to be liquid. It needs to be accessible. But peace money has a number. You see, when you're coming from a place of not having at all and you're having to build, you never really consider that this sort of peace number I came up with has a number. And so you just want, let me just stack up, let me just stack up, let me just stack up. But you're not deploying your money in the market to work for you. So I want you to think about it this way. For most people who work, a good stable job, that peace money is anywhere between 3 to 6 months of their monthly expenses. And then if your income is more, unpredictable, freelancing, social media, so many other things, then you just increase the number of months. But you gotta have a number because now we're talking strategy. Because think about this. I want you to start thinking about your money like you are the business, okay? Because you're going to work, you're making a salary. At the end of the year, and I ask you, well, how did the business of Rozy do? I need you to sit down and say, Rozy bought X number of properties. Then you sit down and say, Rozy invested in her portfolio to this ETF and that ETF. You are the business. That is how you're going to build financial success. Looking at yourself as the business, what is happening to that hard-earned money that you're already working for? So people are just holding way too much money than they need to in a savings account. Calculate what that piece number is. Get solid ETFs that fit the market, that fit your goal, right? That's where those key elements come in when I talk about Rozy rules, because you want to pick ETFs that fit your goal, that fit your risk tolerance, so that you understand more about the market and you are more likely to invest in this portfolio consistently. So I talked about peace money, so then there's stock money. So now we've calculated what our peace money is. So then everything else above that, I'm going to categorize it as stuck money. That money needs to be moving. We're acting like we're building something over here. Okay, so here's where I want you to understand how impactful stuck money is. This sort of concept I'm giving you right now. Because stuck money is not neutral. Well, Rozy, what do you mean? Well, I've talked about inflation. So that means that the stuck money that you have in a savings account is quietly losing value thanks to inflation every single year. Let's bring back Amara's scenario, okay? Let's say her piece money was around the highest $24,000. Yeah, so she went ahead and took her piece money, put it in a high yield savings account, right? So that at least it's keeping up with inflation. She's able to use it for her lifestyle and any emergencies that are to come up. Then she went ahead and deployed her stock money into a solid ETF portfolio. Not just any random ETFs either. One that fit her personal goals, one that fit her level of risk tolerance, so that she grows to understand the market more. So with any dips, any highs, whatever it may be, she has a level of understanding of what expectations she is to be getting in returns from her money. And let me say, like, if you know you have some like major expenses that are to come up, whether it's like a down payment on a car, school fees, whatever it might be, you can even look into CDs. Smaller banks have great rates for CDs for a set period of time where they're even taking your money, locking you in, sometimes for 6 months, a year, 2 years, to give you in turn a higher interest rate because they need to be able to lock you in so they can go use that money. Once again, if you have the capacity, do it yourself. But at least these are all options that you have accessible to you, or at least wanting to keep up with inflation. Because I've got a Rozy rule that says don't invest money that you'll need soon. So if you're going to need that money soon, then it doesn't belong in the market. So now once you have clarity on that, then you can go ahead and deploy your stuck money into the market the right way, the wise way. We're not trading. We're not trying to find the secret company that's going to explode 100x. No, you're going to build consistently over a few years, and that alone will completely transform your financial life. So from there, she went ahead, automated it once a month, literally in minutes, to go ahead and buy the ETFs that fit her goals, and she just continued to build out her portfolio. And with a solid ETF portfolio, you're not going in there checking it every day. You're not reading any stocks. You're not stressing yourself about what's going on in the market. You're investing consistently, and you're definitely not panicking when the market dips or drops, because once again, we build those key foundational elements around it, right? What was your goals? What was your risk tolerance? What are those key ETFs that work for where you are, where you desire to be? And understanding the long term of the market. What's the history in the market? Yes, there's so many elements that go into it, but once you kind of get a hang of it, smooth sailing, baby. So if there's money that's supposed to be deployed in the market, but you just have it sitting in a savings account, well, then that's stuck money. Okay, you get this little visual I'm giving you? All right. Oh, and here's another Rozy rule that fits in perfectly here. Consistency beats timing. It's not about getting into the market at the perfect time so that you can shoot up to the moon. Yeah. Where are you going? Relax. You just need to show up month after month. This is how, even when I was there with a barely there 12-hour job, I created the habit of paying myself all the way to landing my first 6-figure role. Even before business school, I had built the habit of investing because I came to understand something so simple that changed the game for me. Being consistent with the right ETFs will beat almost anything. When you invest in the right ETF portfolio that fits your goals, basically your own slice of hundreds of companies that we all know and use every day, but you're buying it through just one single investment. You're not buying each and every single one as a stock. No. Peace of mind, yes. ETFs, yes. So that's why I came up with the explanation of how an ETF works. Like you're going out to the cookout and you get a plate of this and you put a little bit of that, some beans, some jollof, some chicken, all that on one plate. Okay, and you take a little plate and it's a party in your mouth, but in this concept, think of each element on the plate as a company or as an industry, and that all coming together. You have a slice of that. That is one ETF. So you check out something, I don't know, the mashed potatoes or something is just, whoa, not great. Does that mean the whole plate is done for? No. That's diversification at play. I started very, very small. And when my income grew, my lifestyle did not grow. And so therefore I had capacity to invest even more. I talk about platforms like Fidelity, Vanguard, the one and only Mr. Charlie Shua. They need to be sponsoring me the way I'm promoting them like this now. Tag somebody who knows somebody. Okay. Tag somebody. Tell them that you love them. Okay. Even Fidelity has an opportunity for you to invest in fractional share. Hello, go and do that. Because I want you to understand that building the habit is way more important than trying to chase something, trying to find a way to turn the hard-earned investment into something so powerful, so wonderful. It will happen over time. It will happen with the right investment. Because in just a few short years, my portfolio gave me over $75,000 in profit. That means I haven't even touched my contributions and profits. And I took that and said, hello, I want to build a real estate portfolio. They said, say less, take our money. And as our economy moves, the way it's moving sideways, okay, the way it's shifting sideways, and the way we're going, investing is no longer, oh, let me see if I can just put $20 in there. No, it literally needs to be as serious as a heart attack. And you have to take it so seriously, because I don't care what role you're in, what job you have, 6 figures, whatever it might be. 5 years from today, if you're not investing, you're setting yourself up for poverty, not only for yourself, but for your loved ones. In this capitalistic society that we live in America, you're gonna have to own something, own your investment portfolio, own real estate. You're gonna have to own something for you to feel comfortable when it comes to this numbers game. Otherwise, you're just playing a game of strength and working. How much strength can you continue? What happens when you get sick? What happens when you take a break? What happens when your loved ones need you? And I'm speaking for experience, because if you've been watching my video, you know I had a long pause. Unfortunately, your girl got a little sick. And even the real estate, I had to pause some of the properties. I gotta go see my sister. I gotta go see my mommy. I need my mommy right now, okay? Guess what? We're still growing. My investment portfolio. Why are you not investing consistently in a solid ETF portfolio? What is keeping you from not deploying your hard-earned money into the market so that 3 years, 5 years, 7 years could transform your whole financial life? You know, I met one of our community members at a graduation recently, and she was so quick to do a video for me. You're gonna see her video soon, maybe when you come for the live investing masterclass, because she jumped into it. She did it scared. She started to build out her portfolio. And guess what? She started to see the results. She started to see the growth. So now she's starting to understand the market more. She's starting to believe it more. So then, wouldn't you be more inclined to build your skill set, to increase your net worth in the marketplace when it comes to your income so that you can continue to build out your portfolio. What does 3 to 5 years look like for this person? It's high time we stop letting fear make our financial decisions. Don't let your hard-earned money sit idle while you are out here working for it. Your money has a job now, okay? Come to Live Investing Masterclass, 8 p.m. EST on Thursdays. Links in the description. Come as you are, come with your questions, but even better, I've given you enough to get started. So are you gonna do it scared? Are you gonna do it scared?